EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Cut. 20. 56. Rip left.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On second down, a run with Breida. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Gone. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. I'm coming.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he finds a man with a crossing route.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, defense.
And an alley to run. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
30, like 20. Check in. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Value 3. 34, right 34. Hey, Delta. 65.
Throwing on third. Goff. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Check. Watch 54. Get that quarterback.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Watch the screen. Pass. Check.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Cut. 180.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Call. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 yards, first down Niners. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On first down, here's Breida. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go.
From the 31, Goff, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for gone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, gone. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
At the
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Stay with your man.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now it's Breida. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now on 2nd and 16. Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd and long. It's gone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give coming right is Breida. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
First down, San Francisco.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's... And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
At their own 48-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field, you take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. From the gun, here's Goff. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, it's Goff. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also some...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson looking deep for Hilton. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and more.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Whip. Watch the whip. Switch. Chef, squeeze.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And with the clock at all zeros, they get the touchdown to make this just a 1-score game into the lockers.
And you know what else it does? Besides boost their confidence, it doesn't change your game plan any. See, if they're down bigger going into the half, you may have to revise what you plan to do in the second. But now in this spot, within 1 score in striking distance, you go ahead and keep playing and do what you've worked on all week long.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jackson looking deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point. And it's now 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll toss it to Breida.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
What? Like 20. I'm here all day.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff completes it to the tight end Kittle. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 7. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
He's scared. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. So we got man. Shut up.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jackson is going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
From the 25 on second down, Jackson forced out to his left. He'll run it. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 25 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. This will be taken in at the 1. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. And rush coming, and he's taken down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Bryant has it. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. McManus's point after is good, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Run for Pollard. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the bus.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Pollard. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now here's Pollard, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tony Pollard, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Back now in Baltimore, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Breida. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. 18 yards, first down Niners.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now gone. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tony Pollard, 98 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Goff now Looks to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 39 yards there. A big one. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is third down and 12. Back to throw. Goff. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On second and 7, Goff. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
14.
Goff now looking to throw. Got his target, Samuel. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after him right here. I
really
want to put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football, you've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
70, Indy.
Brings up 2nd and 11. 32-yard line.
Ready?
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many mil. Cause bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow.